Hey everyone, this is your girl Renee, and welcome to my fourth episode. I'm bringing you the water for the day. The title of my poem will be Lessons in the Pandemic. Being in the midst of the pandemic taught us some things. There were lessons to be learned. The pandemic revealed many things. Some things were hurtful, some were meaningful, some were truthful, and some were filled with pain. I'm praying you were paying attention. Hopefully we don't have to experience this again. Something we thought in the beginning might last a week or two, but it ended up being over a year and we still not through. There were many that didn't make it. There were many that didn't even care about those that died. Pandemic let true colors bring clarity to our eyes. The great loss of life emphasized the importance of life, the importance of time with family and friends. Yeah, that pain hit differently when you can't say goodbye to your loved ones at their end. The fragility of life hit full force because those that experienced that loss, it brought them to their knees. Who could have imagined the devastation this virus would bring? The significance of jobs that we all took for granted, you see. Those delivery drivers, those who worked at schools, those hospital workers, restaurant workers who held the country down, standing on the front line doing what they do. Yeah, we owe them much respect, a pay increase, and probably a vacation too. We thank you for your service, for we are truly indebted to you. But also in the pandemic, creativity took center stage. Entrepreneur spirits came out and shined. From people making masks to writing books, starting new businesses, and doing podcasts, some were starting to find new avenues in this path of life. Let's continue to make this trend last. Virtual living became a way of life. We learned a new way to connect, to do our jobs, go to worship, teach school, and exercise, all with the help of a technological device. Being able to connect with loved ones and friends made us smile and hold on. Hopefully soon we can see each other in person again. In the spring and summer, drive-by parties became a thing. Celebrating graduations, birthdays, and baby showers in a new way. It gave us elation to get together with family and friends. We still had to keep our distance and wear our masks, but it was a boost for our spirits, so I say this was a big win. But as I pondered this time in quarantine, I hope we don't miss the point. I hope we don't come out without having learned some lessons. See, God was speaking. He was showing us some things. He paused the whole world. Tell me this, were you listening? See, pandemic upon pandemic is not a normal thing. God stopped the world. He shut it down so we could see what he was showing and listen to what he had to say. That is, if we took the time to pray. He was putting in plain view the superior attitudes, the self-centeredness, the hate, the brutality, the idolatry, the lack of love for him in play. Time is getting late. The warning is clear. God was giving us a taste of what it's like when he takes his hand off. His action is clear. He will allow things to happen, devastation to take place, if he needs to get our attention before it's too late. There were many groups in this pandemic representing us all. Some were given rest eternally or in time. Some persevered. Some fell away. There were those that spent their time living in fear. Some shined and grew. Some just gave up. Some never learned what was true. Which group do you belong to? Which one was for you? Sometimes we get second chances, a brand new day. How will you come out of this pandemic? Will you become better or continue in the so-called normal way? So originally I thought that I would be sharing a different poem, but it was heavy in my spirit to write this one. I know that we will all be happy when this pandemic is over, and many of us are hoping that things will go back to normal or some semblance of normal. But what if it doesn't? What if things do not go back to the way they were? What if our normal is different? Are we flexible to accept the change? I, for one, hope that we come out of this experience with some lessons learned. I hope that we come out with a healthy respect and appreciation for the time that we've been given, for the family and friends that are in our circle. Maybe we need to call them more often, check on each other more often. Just a few things to think about. Because if we haven't learned anything else during this experience, it's that life is short. It is fleeting. Hopefully we gain some self-introspection about things we want to change, goals we want to meet. A man in the mirror moment, if you will. I hope we come away with things that we need to change about ourselves, ways for us to become better human beings to each other. I hope we come away with a better and deeper relationship with God, not just the quick prayer we whisper on the run or when we're going through something, but some real one-on-one time with Him. I hope we find a way to increase our faith and not our fear. I believe that God put us in a timeout, that He shut everything down because He had enough. That He wanted us to see just how messed up we are, how messed up the world is, how selfish and self-centered we have become. How we put Him on the shelf and grab Him off when we want Him. But He also showed us in the midst of all that was ratchet in this world, that there is still goodness and kindness. There were many people that stepped up who did miraculous and incredible things. And that even though we've gotten on His nerves, He still is waiting and listening for our prayers if we come for Him, if we come to Him. He is still covering us with His mercy and His grace. He is still providing and sustaining. But make no mistake, it was also a warning that we need to get it together. So go out and find your water.